I'm hot. I bet I could do this. I bet I could do this without that. Not top on my list of things I'm thankful for, but very high on the list of things I'm thankful for is Jared. Because I am no longer the default children's spot director. Jared is. And he's doing a marvelous job. Thank you, Jared. Today is Sunday, November 27th, 2022. I woke up. I have clothes to wear. I have running water. I have food to eat. Life is good. I am thankful. John Robinson and I started, I don't know how many conversations with wisdom similar to this, because we'd giggle and say, yeah, I got up, I'm vertical. I got my clothes on. Don't expect too much more. And it always left us smiling at each other because we knew we were thankful. Sometimes we forget that waking up each day is the first thing we get to be grateful for. I have a lovely home, running water. We have 3 wonderful kids who have raised or in the process of raising our 6 grandchildren, giving us the privilege of being grandparents. We get to spoil them, slip them a little money sometimes when mom and dad are not looking, and then send them home. It's great. If you're not there yet, you have something to look forward to. It's the best. I'm truly blessed and thankful every day. But I'm also super thankful for this group of people that are sitting in this room. About 25 years ago or so, God planted us here among this group of people. Now, this group of people has changed more than one time. The papers are all messed up. Over the years. More than one time we've changed. But we've never given up. We always find things and people to be thankful for. God brings us new folks to be an encouragement among us, or to remind us of all our blessings, and that there is always, and that's in capital letters, something to be thankful for. I am thankful for each one of you for very, very many different reasons. This is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. I love you.
thankful for my family, my friends, my house, my school, anteaters, glue, clothes, me, good presidents, my parents, electric vehicles, my imagination, books, stuffies because they help when you get hurt, hair because it keeps you shade from the sun, shoes, abuelita and doctor, and God.
I am thankful for my family, that I have a house, that I go to church, that I worship God and Jesus, for schools that hide nuts and run up and down our country in our backyard, for hugs and kisses, for engineering videos by Jude Owen, especially about the Titanic, Perseverance, the M1A2 Abrams tank, the Enigma machine, VCR, and the Payhawk helicopter, for books, Legos, taking walks with my family, cats, taking vacations with my family, swimming at the pool, the Bible. For all these things I give thanks to God.
How do you follow that? I mean, goodness. Boy, it's a lot harder when you're this close to everybody, but I'll do my best to not get emotional. Were emotions okay? Emotions okay. I want to say, first of all, I'm thankful. I'm so thankful, and I have a lot to be thankful for. My niece, Katie, that was in the accident not too long ago. For those of you that don't know, I wanted to kind of tell a little bit of the story. My nephew passed away a few years ago in an accident really similar to Katie's. And so what I'm really thankful for is that she was okay. I mean, she has some effects and some long-term effects, but she's okay. She survived, and my brother recognized and even said he feels like there were angels watching over her, which is if you have heard me talk about my brother, that meant a lot to me. So, so I'm really thankful for Katie's health. I'm thankful for my health because over the last few years I've had some crazy stuff going on, but I'm back to myself and I feel great, and so I'm really thankful for that. I'm thankful for my beautiful family, a wonderful partner, Chris, with which I share my life, and two awesome kids, Keaton and Kinsey. And I'm thankful for the times that we can laugh together and special times that we've had and continue to have. I'm not going to make it through. It's going to be okay. Special times that we have together. I'm thankful for the ability to visit, bless, and be blessed by my mom. She has a wealth of wisdom. I'm thankful for the memories I have of my dad, and that I have memories with him here in this building and people that still remember him here. I'm thankful for friends that ask how I'm doing and actually care to hear the answer. For friends that can sit in grief, feel righteous anger with me, and just plain love other people. I'm thankful for a church body that tries to love like Jesus. Our ministers, teachers, staff, praise team, members, everybody who's here is a worker. I'm thankful for that. And I'm thankful I have the opportunity to be up here and share my thoughts and feelings with you. For a long time, I didn't have a voice at my church, and I wasn't able to participate, and now I am, and I'm so thankful for that. And finally, I'm thankful to be loved by God as I am.
I came up here because I need something to lean on. As all of you, if I started to write down the things I'd be thankful for, we'd be here all day to talk about it. And as some of you know, I don't do things briefly, but I will. So I picked what I'm thankful for at this moment to talk about, and that's roots. As you have, and I have, they go really deep. and I have hundreds of roots. But the ones I want to talk about this morning are my grandparents. I was born and grew up in a little town down east of here called Alny. And for the first 12 years of my life, I was probably no more than 5 minutes away from my grandparents. And from the time my sister, who's a year older than me, we were able to sneak off, we would be at their house. We would be in the kitchen with my grandma as she fried chicken, cooked cookies, and told us about growing up a long time ago. My grandparents were born in the 1890s. My grandma was born up around Wichita Falls with her grandparents, grandmother, great-grandmother, I think, actually lived with the Cherokees. But we heard all these stories and how they were raised. My granddad started out in Arkansas and grew up in Oklahoma Territory. So I tell everybody that I'm really a second-generation American because of that. He came to Texas before Oklahoma was a state. And my Forenza grandparents came from Italy when they were small children. Anyway, Connie, my sister, would hang around with Grandma and hear all her stories and knew all the past relatives and everything going on. And I would hang around with Granddad. He was a carpenter. And from the time I was old enough to get in the car with him, I went to work with him while he was building something, roofing a house or whatever he did. And I can remember climbing a ladder when I was 8 or 9 years old, carrying 3 shingles up on a roof because that's all I could lift. But they influenced our lives, and they influenced my parents' lives, who influenced my life. And then what I am now is because of them. Now, as we remember things that we're thankful for, I'll just start out at the beginning and say, I'm really, really thankful for my roots. It made me what I am today, and it also gave me a lot of stories to bore my kids and grandkids with. Thank you.
We've had an extremely hard week, but a very blessed week. We have so many things to be thankful for. Last Friday morning, about 10 till 7, the phone rang, and it was my son's mother-in-law, called to tell me that my 41-year-old son was unresponsive that morning, sitting in his chair. He gets up at 5 o'clock and goes and reads and sits in his chair, and before everybody else gets up. And about 5 o'clock he got up. Rylan, the middle child, got up at 6, and he was going to go play basketball. So he went in the living room to put his shoes on, and Randall was sitting in the chair. He thought asleep. And in a few minutes, there was a little noise, and the dogs, they have 2 labs, they started just having a fit. And Rylan went over to try to wake Randall up, and he couldn't get him awake. He wasn't breathing, and there was no pulse. He went and got his mom, and Tamber came in there and immediately started CPR. And she got him to breathing. He then quit breathing again, and she continued CPR. Rylan called 911. The fire department, they live in Sundown, and there's no EMT kind of a ambulance deal there. So the ambulance had to come from Levelland. The fire department got there, and they had to shock him to get his heart started again. They got him stable, took him to Levelland and did a CAT scan, not knowing he didn't have any problems at all. They did a CAT scan to see if he had had a stroke, and he hadn't. So they got him stable enough to take him to Lubbock, and they brought him here, and they decided they cannot he was still unresponsive. They can't correct what damage had been done if there was any, but they could stop it by lowering his body temperature to about 36 degrees Celsius. That sounds awfully cold, and he was cold. But they stopped that and let all of his metabolism work in his head rather than trying to keep his body going. They kept him that way for 24 hours. That was a very difficult 24 hours. We could go in and see him, but of course he was sedated and paralyzed and couldn't talk. He was on a vent, and that was a hard 24 hours. After that 24 hours, we had to give him 12 more hours to warm up. Another 12 hours. I don't wait patiently when things are a little bit out of sorts. They did an EEG on his brain, and there was no brain damage. We didn't know how long he had been without oxygen, so they were afraid there would be some long-term effects. Through all of this, some things in our lives happen that might be coincidences, but we can see God's hand in all of this, and we truly this week witnessed a miracle. Lots of families go through this same experience and don't have the outcome that we did. There were people praying here in this building. There were people praying all over the United States. He has touched so many lives. I don't know what Jeremy said last week, but I understand he and Randall are close and have known each other for years. And I know that's been hard for him. We've seen God work in their family, in Randall's family, in what Tamber knew to do, in what Rylan knew to do, in the EMTs, the ambulance, the doctors, the nurses. They woke him up. I don't even know what day it was. I don't know. They woke him, let him wake up, and there's no brain damage. There's no ill effects. He will have a defibrillator put in tomorrow afternoon if things go well. He has a cough, and the doctor doesn't want him to cough while he's putting the defibrillator in, so, and it would be just like him to do that. But they're going to do that, and he is a runner, and he can continue to run, and the boys could go in and see him. Brian is 10, and she couldn't go in, but she wrote a story about the whole experience from her perspective, because the boys kept her in her room while the ambulance and all was there, so she didn't see him. And so she wrote a long story, and most of the story is, we waited and you slept. And we waited some more and you slept some more. But it's very interesting, her perspective of it, not realizing all that was going on. We did get to bring him out in the waiting room at some point. Oh, must have been Thanksgiving or the day before, I don't know. And she got to see him. So everybody is good, and we are so thankful for the people in our lives and the people in their lives, because without that and without the power of prayer, I don't think these things were coincidences. I think they were God working in their lives, and He has a story to tell now, and it makes him a lot more special. You know, we have 7 kids between us and 19 grandchildren, and the one that's your favorite is the one that needs your help, the one that's in trouble, the one that needs you the most at the time. So we're very thankful for everything we have and for all the people that were praying for him.
I'll add a little bit to that. We're so thankful for y'all's prayers for us. In the waiting room on Friday and Saturday, there was like 40 or 50 people in there from Abernathy, from Sundown, from LCU, from White River. Tamber's a 5th grade teacher at Sundown. Her principal came. He brought donuts to Level Land. He brought about 10 boxes of pizza to Lubbock in the ICU. Nearly everybody that came up there brought a sack of some kind of groceries. And it was quite a deal. We got called down once from a security for making too much noise. So it was really amazing, and a lot of good people. And Sharon spoke about the people that didn't have the results that we had. But every one of those people that we were in contact with were also concerned about Randall, and we were not embarrassed, but we held back talking about how well we were doing, because some of them, their people had died and they were not getting better, but they were all very thankful and very, very kind toward us, and we didn't hear. I mean, everybody we were associated with, every family, was talking about praying, and that it was all godly people. And it was really, really an amazing journey. And there's still a family up there that we got close to, and they have a brother that's not doing well. He's gaining a little bit every day, but if y'all could, it's a great family, and we would ask that you could pray for them. Thank you so much for prayers for Randall.